Welcome back, everybody, to what is part 2 of the Kahr CW380 review. As you guys remember, we had a part 1 because this gun was having some serious reliability issues. We sent it back to Kahr. We got it back. We've been putting some rounds through it in the condition that it's been returned to us in. I'm going to keep doing so. And then after that, step inside, let you know what I think of the gun, let you know what I think of the service I got from Kahr. And that'll pretty much be it. But for now, we'll see if we can make that steel ring a little bit more.
Unlike part 1, we're going to actually get into the details of the gun on this one here. As you can see, obviously it's a .380 caliber pistol. The capacity on it is 6+1. One of the downsides of the gun is that you do only get one magazine with it. So if you want extra mags, they're available over on Kahr's website, but you're only going to get one with it. However, that does help to keep the cost down, and the cost on this pistol is very good. Right now, 2014 time frame, you can find these pistols generally under $300. So in terms of that, it's certainly an excellent value in terms of cost, but you know, there's some trade-offs that you get with it, one of them being just one magazine. Additionally, the box that it comes in is just a cardboard box. I don't care about boxes, but some folks do, just pointing it out. Some of the features of the pistol here, the barrel here is obviously very short. It's a 2.58 inch barrel. It does have conventional rifling. Kahr's known generally for polygonal or polygonal rifling, but again, to save cost, they went with a traditional rifling. Most people will never know the difference, and in my opinion, it doesn't matter one way or the other. The pistol itself, the big thing and the selling point on it is obviously going to be size as well as weight. Unloaded, this thing weighs under 11 ounces. It's 10.2 ounces on my scale. That is insane. It's extraordinarily light, very small, very slim. There's some advantages to it, being that slim, obviously extremely easy to conceal. There's a good bit of holsters out there for it nowadays as well, because the gun's relatively popular, so tons of pocket holsters out there. Obviously some inside the waistband holsters as well for folks who want to carry that way. But very slim, very small, lightweight holster, or gun I should say. I'll compare it to a couple other offerings in the 380 here just to give you guys an idea on size. Here's the Bodyguard 380 that we've reviewed as well. Very good gun as well, made by Smith & Wesson. That you can see here, the CW380 is smaller if we line the back up, smaller in the barrel. And with the magazine in there, it's almost identical in terms of height, same as well as overall length there. If you line the back up with the beaver tails with each, you can see definitely a little bit shorter as well. Definitely lighter, no getting around that. For those of you debating if you want to go with this versus say like a traditional 9mm version, here's our Glock 26 double stack 10+1 gun. You can see the 26 is a very small concealable gun, but it dwarfs the Kahr here in terms of size. You can see it's just so much larger. It looks like a Glock 17 next to it. But obviously the 26, different caliber, and a double stack gun, so in sort of a different range, but a lot of folks are familiar with the 26, so I wanted to throw the size comparison in there with it. A few other features on the gun. Restorations here on the rear. The sights are actually, in my opinion, very good for a pocket type gun, pocket type 380. It has a bar and dot type sight system. There are night sights available over on Kahr's website for those of you guys that want that option. But as it is for a pocket type gun, they are very usable sights. For a pocket gun, the trigger on this one's pretty good. It's traditional Kahr trigger pull, so it's very long but very smooth. And breaks just over 6 pounds on my scale. So long take up, decently clean break for the type of gun that we're talking about here. Again, certainly you're not going to compare it to a 1911, that's for sure. And the reset is very long as well. So certainly not designed for, you know, maximum accuracy, but it's designed to be a pocket gun and be able to get rounds on target at self-defense distances. Disassembly of the pistol is not as easy as some, but it's not as difficult as others. Just to show you, you always want to make sure it's clear. And this one in particular, I sort of, kind of with the size of my hands as well as the design of the pistol, I sort of have to put my hand in front of the muzzle, so you definitely want to double check to make sure it's clear. And at this point, what you need to do is move the slide back to the little notch here. Lines up with the takedown pin, or takedown lever I should say, and you're going to push across from the right side of the pistol and just pull that out. At this point, just point in the safe direction, pull the trigger, and it'll come right off. You do have a steel guide rod, as you see here, and a double recoil spring there. Browning type action on the barrel, and there's that traditional rifling that we talked about earlier. Putting it back together is the same, just in the opposite order. So those are all the details and the specs on the gun, but I want to talk about their customer service and the performance of the gun since it's been back.
When I contacted Kahr, I didn't like tell him, hey, I'm Mr. Guns and Gear from YouTube. I just, regular, hey, I'm Mike, and I got a problematic gun. They were great. I contacted them through their web contact form. I believe I had a shipping label from them paid for in my email 2 days later. The gun went off, came back, and was on my porch 9 days later in the condition that you see it in. So by all means, their customer service was excellent. So zero complaints about that at all. Since the gun's been back, the performance has been great as well. I've had zero failures of any sort of like performance-wise. So no failures to feed, no failures to extract, no failures to eject. All that stuff's good. The only thing that we've had sort of problematic-wise, if you go on the gun, is the failure to lock back on the slide in the last round. That's happened maybe a quarter of the time. In all honesty, it could be a shooter error. I don't know. But just reporting the facts as they are. Other than that, the gun's been great. So certainly can't knock Kahr at all in terms of their customer service. Obviously, the gun came in having malfunctions literally every mag, and now we're been 100% since it's been back. I think we got 150 rounds of the 100 grain ammo from Freedom Munitions through it, as well as 3 mags of Spear Gold Dot. No issues. So that's certainly good. I'm glad to see that. Now, in terms of my thoughts on the gun overall, it would make a good pocket gun, as I mentioned throughout the review. I wouldn't want to go to the range and shoot competition with it or anything like that. And also, one thing I always mention whenever I talk about these little sort of small, compact guns is if a lot of people think, I have a female shooter in my life, my wife, my sister, my daughter, whatever the case may be, this gun would be great for them. I personally do not think that's the case for several reasons. Number one, small, lightweight guns, for the caliber, recoil more. It's physics. So more recoil tends to lead to bad habits like flinching, etc. Take a look here from what my wife, Mrs. Guns and Gear, said when she was out there trying this gun out.
I have a reflex of closing my eyes when I do these little guns. I hate them.
So she's probably going to kill me for including the language in there, but it's a real shot. She didn't know it was going to be included in the video, but it's real world. She's sort of an average shooter, if you will. She probably shoots maybe 200 rounds a year, and whenever she gets these small subcompact guns in her hand, she tends to have issues with them in terms of just shooting them accurately and shooting them well, I guess you could say, and proficiently. So just something to think about there if you're thinking about the gun for the new shooter in your life. Even not a female, males as well, but small guns are harder to shoot well. It's just the way it is. But if you're an experienced shooter or someone who just wants this, as a get-off-me kind of gun, certainly it's one to take a look at, especially at the price point. If you guys have any questions about this gun or anything else to talk about here in the channel, you can always post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page below. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. But I hope to see you in the next video.